Fyodor Mikhailovich Dostoevsky is a Russian writer, thinker, philosopher and publicist. Corresponding member of the St. Petersburg Academy of Sciences since 1877. A classic of world literature, according to UNESCO, one of the most widely read writers in the world. The mystery of human existence lies not in just staying alive, but in finding something to live for. The best way to keep a prisoner from escaping is to make sure he never knows he's in prison. Pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence in a deep heart. The really great men must, I think, have great sadness on earth. Nothing in this world is harder than speaking the truth, nothing easier than flattery. The darker the night, the brighter the stars, the deeper the grief, the closer is God. It is better to be unhappy and know the worst, than to be happy in a fool's paradise. I gave up caring about anything, and all the problems disappeared. To love another person is to see them as God intended them to be. What is hell? I maintain that it is the suffering of being unable to love. Learning to love is hard and we pay dearly for it. It takes hard work and a long apprenticeship, for it is not just for a moment that we must learn to love, but forever. Nothing is easier than to denounce the evildoer. Nothing is more difficult than to understand him. People speak sometimes about the bestial cruelty of man, but that is terribly unjust and offensive to beasts. No animal could ever be so cruel as a man, so artfully, so artistically cruel. The most offensive is not their lying. One can always forgive lying. Lying is a delightful thing, for it leads to truth. What is offensive is that they lie and worship their own lying. The soul is healed by being with children. Humanity can live without science, it can live without bread, but it cannot live without beauty. Without beauty, there would be nothing left to do in this life. Here the secret lies, here lies the entire story. It takes something more than intelligence to act intelligently. Only through suffering can we find ourselves. If you wish to glimpse inside a human soul and get to know a man, just watch him laugh. If he laughs well, he's a good man. The more you succeed in loving, the more you'll be convinced at the existence of God and the immortality of your soul. The more incompetent one feels, the more eager he is to fight. Don't be overwise. Fling yourself straight into life, without deliberation. Don't be afraid. The flood will bear you to the bank and set you safe on your feet again. She looked much younger than her age, indeed, which is almost always the case with women who retain serenity of spirit, sensitiveness and pure sincere warmth of heart to old age. The greatest happiness is to know the source of unhappiness. Above all, don't lie to yourself. The man who lies to himself and listens to his own lie comes to a point that he cannot distinguish the truth within him or around him, and so loses all respect for himself and for others. And having no respect, he ceases to love. Destroy my desires, eradicate my ideals, show me something better, and I will follow you. Man is sometimes extraordinarily, passionately, in love with suffering. If everything on earth were rational, nothing would happen. I believe there is no one deeper, lovelier, more sympathetic and more perfect than Jesus. But how could you live and have no story to tell? The man who is happy is fulfilling the purpose of existence. I think the devil doesn't exist, but man has created him. He has created him in his own image and likeness. A society should be judged not by how it treats its outstanding citizens, but by how it treats its criminals. You will burn and you will burn out. You will be healed and come back again. If you love all things, you will also attain the divine mystery that is in all things. For then your ability to perceive the truth will grow every day, and your mind will open itself to an all-embracing love. Man has it all in his hands, and it all slips through his fingers from sheer cowardice. There is immeasurably more left inside than what comes out in words. They tease me now, telling me it was only a dream. But does it matter whether it was a dream or reality, if the dream made known to me the truth? To go wrong in one's own way is better than to go right in someone else's. I believe the best definition of man is the ungrateful biped. Perhaps I really regard myself as an intelligent man only because throughout my entire life I've never been able to start or finish anything. The world will be saved by beauty. From 100 rabbits you can't make a horse. To love is to suffer, and there can be no love otherwise. It seems, in fact, as though the second half of a man's life is made up of nothing but the habits he has accumulated during the first half. And if there's love, you can do without happiness too. Even with sorrow, life is sweet. Much unhappiness has come into the world because of bewilderment and things left unsaid. Man is a creature that can get accustomed to anything, and I think that is the best definition of him. But men love abstract reasoning and need systematization so much that they think nothing of distorting the truth, closing their eyes and ears to contrary evidence to preserve their logical constructions. Happiness does not lie in happiness, but in the achievement of it. To begin with unlimited freedom is to end with unlimited despotism. They were renewed by love. The heart of each held infinite sources of life for the heart of the other. People with new ideas, people with the faintest capacity for saying something new, are extremely few in number, extraordinarily so, in fact. The degree of civilization in a society can be judged by entering its prisons. Let us not forget that the reasons for human actions are usually incalculably more complex and diverse than we tend to explain them later, and are seldom clearly manifest. We sometimes encounter people, even perfect strangers, who begin to interest us at first sight, somehow suddenly, all at once, before a word has been spoken.